Hello and welcome to the Always Games TV Show, episode 22. I am your host, Roger Knowles, joined once again by Tom Simpson.
Hello.
And we at the Always Games TV Show talk about video games occasionally, when we don't go off on a tangent. We occasionally cover films as well. But this episode of the Always Games TV Show is purely and utterly dedicated to E3.
And the weather.
And the weather. Oh yeah, we probably will be. I always do this, actually. Whenever we do recording, it's really, really warm. I've noticed that, because like, if I do this way it's going to... Like, how bright it is out there. You can actually see on the screen there. But,
Don't, I'm getting sunburnt.
I think today is actually the warmest day of the year so far. Pretty hot. You struggle in the heat. We've discussed this so many times on the show, but you struggle in the heat.
I've got a trucker sunburn, where I got more sunburn on my right arm. Yeah. Not a trucker, by the way.
We actually, today we record in the UK. If anybody's actually watching America, they'll probably say, "Oh God, those English people always complain it's raining." Yeah, on the Always Games TV show, it's always sunny. Plan everything when we're recording. We'll let you know on Twitter. So we're going to be covering E3 2017, seeing as that has pretty much dominated the whole of the video games news.
Yes.
For the last week. We're going to cover our predictions that we made in the last episode. We're also going to discuss the Sony and Xbox conference. We probably won't talk about the other ones because we just don't have time. And then we've picked 3 trailers each that we want to just focus on a little bit, and we'll talk about at the end of the show.
Yep.
Cool?
Mm-hmm. Right, let's...
Should we open a drink up first before we start? You've left yours over there. There's your glass.
It's there.
You did? Oh, okay, we're good.
I drank mine already.
You drank your Monster?
No, my water.
Oh, okay.
Water.
So, starting off on predictions, Tom. Basically, shut up. The situation was that whoever lost the E3 predictions would buy the calzone next time. Fuck off.
Family friendly.
Bollocks.
They'll mess up your adverts.
Oh yeah, we don't earn enough revenue to worry about that just yet. Once we're hitting 1 million subs, then we'll start maybe considering it.
I'm gonna have a grey man head beard thing. I'm gonna be old.
It won't be YouTube anymore by that point. Anyway, so the prediction, Tom, the first one that you mentioned was Borderlands 3. And you were expecting them to show some form of tech demo off at
Oh no,
E3.
they've already shown a tech demo off. I was hoping they'll do like a reveal.
Oh, we're going to do a full reveal.
And now I'm full of bitter disappointment.
There was absolutely no mention of Borderlands 3 at all.
There was another game that they didn't show at all. Was it Death Stranding?
Oh, did they not show anything of Death Stranding in the end?
I don't think so.
I know they didn't show anything of The Last of Us 2.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, so your prediction was Borderlands 3, which you got wrong. There was no Borderlands 3 at all, which is kind of surprising because they announced, wasn't it 2 years ago that they were in development?
I don't know. I don't remember them.
It was a while ago. It was quite a long time ago. And I was actually, when you mentioned that, I was kind of convinced myself that there were going to be something shown, but no, nothing at all. My prediction was that they would show 20 minutes or more of PSVR. Now, I think they got pretty close to showing about 20 minutes off during the Sony conference, which I'm pretty pleased about. They showed quite a few trailers off during the Sony conference for the PSVR, which is good, showing support.
This is true, yep.
Mm-hmm. So I got that one right. So it's 1-0. Shut up.
I haven't said anything.
You're thinking it.
No, I'm not.
The next one, which I can't believe you actually got this. This is so unbelievably nailed. I couldn't believe it.
Roger's written all his predictions down nice and neat and on a big piece of paper. And I've just,
I've still got the piece of paper from the last show, the little scratty little thing that you wrote everything down. But your second prediction was Fallout 4 VR. Now, I'm slightly convinced that you knew about this beforehand. You were like, yes, Fallout 4 VR will be announced.
What surprised me is they did Skyrim and Doom VR as well.
Yeah, actually. But the Skyrim VR wasn't announced actually during the Bethesda conference.
What?
It was shown during the Sony conference, that's when it was announced.
Oh, right.
Oh. bit weird. But it is coming out for PSVR presently only, I think. So that's probably why they did it during the Sony conference. But yeah, Fallout 4 VR is coming out, and it's fully. The whole game is VR. There isn't like it's not like a little mini game section. The whole of Fallout 4 is playable in VR.
Yeah.
Now I'm not entirely sure if it's you have to buy the whole game again. You do have to with Skyrim VR. You have to buy the whole game again. It's not an update for that. So whether or not I think they're probably going to do the same with Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Which won't surprise me.
Bethesda are just trying to rake in more money.
Yeah, with Skyrim. What version of it we've got now?
Yeah, how many releases of that are they going to do?
This will be, if I buy it for VR, Skyrim, it'll be the 4th time you're buying it.
It's not enough. Let's release it on Switch.
Oh yeah. It'll be like for the next 10 years we'll have a version of it released on some form of platform.
Mobile,
yeah, that'll be next. So yeah, you got that right, bang on. But it is only presently coming out on the Vive. I don't know if it's been announced on anything else. I don't think so as of yet. Which is, I think it'll probably be slowly distributed across all the PSVR. Sorry, it would be nice to come to PSVR, but of the VR devices.
I'm not convinced that PSVR would be strong enough to run it, mainly because of how poor the engine is.
That's true.
It probably struggles. It struggles to run just Fallout 4 as it is.
Oh yeah, well yeah. I imagine that with, unless they'd have to tone it back graphically massively.
They'll have to
be able to try and get something, but I mean, with the Skyrim version, Skyrim's been, how long did it? 2011?
11.
Yeah.
That's when Skyrim was released, yeah.
Jesus. So, yes, you got that right. So, well done. It is 1-1. My second prediction was that during the whole of E3 2017, 4 Star Wars games would be shown off with gameplay, not including mobile. Just the one was shown, which was Star Wars Battlefront 2, which we knew was...
There's only so many times you can say Battlefront 2.
Yeah. You see, the reason why I went with this was last year they showed off this development trailer showing off, we've got this many games in production for Star Wars at EA. You think they would at least maybe have shown off more than just Battlefront.
Didn't they show a little teaser or something off it as well?
Yeah, they did. They showed a 10-second trailer to the gameplay footage, early footage of the
in-engine footage.
Yeah, of the new. I think it's like the RPG game that's coming out.
Yeah, something like that.
Which is done by the lady who wrote the stories for Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. So yes, I was kind of disappointed.
It's not just her making it, though.
No, I know, but she's left Naughty Dog and went to go work with EA, and then
the first game. Time.
Yeah, I know, but this must have been in development at least 2 years. I was expecting something. Every year, I think now. I think the last 2 E3s have said, well, maybe next year. I hope maybe next year.
This time, say it.
Maybe next year.
It will happen.
Mm-hmm. So I got that wrong. So Tom is so it's still 1-1. Tom's third prediction was, this was really specific, but I'm actually going to be nice to you on this. Okay.
It was a bit overly specific.
Tom predicted that we would have a trailer and release date for Assassin's Creed Origins. And you actually said December the 4th it would be announced. I don't actually know what the release date is. I can't remember. I think it's November point. But I've actually given you fall 2017 for that, because I think you were going a little bit crazy with your prediction.
I don't know. You asked me for a date, so
I meant like spring, but yeah, you said December the 4th, so I'm going to say fall 2017. So you got that right. There was actually a cinematic trailer. There was a gameplay trailer. There was also, I think, a different trailer shown off during the Ubisoft conference. There was also a trailer to showing off the legendary collector's edition, which is worth $800.
What?
Yep, being released on $800. There's only going to be 1,000 of them made, though.
Do you get a taxidermied eagle?
Taxidermied? No, you get given an eagle. Oh. And then you get sent to Egypt and a pyramid.
No, I can't go to Egypt.
It's too hot, god damn it. So you got that right, bang on. Yeah, I think, to be honest, it looks... What did you think to the Assassin's Creed Origins trailer?
I don't know, my internet crapped out, so I only saw part of it. I saw a guy in the river with a spear poking a hippo. I think that's what I saw. And then he swam up, and there was a boat, a sailing boat, and there was a big boat, and an eagle.
I remember watching the Ubisoft conference, and he fired an arrow, and it was like it moved. He could control it when he fired it.
I didn't see that.
Oh.
Was he got like the Force?
I think it was just a magic, bit like a magic bullet. It was a magic arrow. So yeah, it looks okay. It's been in development for a little while now, and I was expecting maybe something a little bit graphically better. It looks okay. The terrain looks great. The animations and the characters don't. They look like old Assassin's Creed.
They look better than Unity.
They look about the same. I'd probably be a little bit bad. I've been probably a bit harsh, actually.
Go back and look at Unity, because I've played Black Flag recently, and I looked at Origins, and it is a well...
Yeah, it probably
Step
my
above.
memory just being a bit... I was expecting maybe something a little bit... I know I'll get to a game what you want to discuss later on, which animations were a lot better.
See, what I think, like with old games, when you think about them, I think about Halo 1 on the original Xbox, and in my mind it looks amazing.
True.
If I went back to it, it looked like, well, worse than Minecraft.
Just a block.
Yeah, no, it looked terrible, but it's still a...
True. I guess your mind does sort of play tricks on you in that aspect. But yeah, no, well done. You got Assassin's Creed. Again, bang on prediction. 2-1 to you, and then my final prediction, which kind of... Knights of the Old Republic would get some form of a new release or a remaster.
Isn't that technically the same as your second prediction?
Yes, but I was trying to be a bit more specific with the Star Wars.
It's all right, you've got an extra prediction you could add in here.
Yeah, this was... So my other prediction that I made, which was like a backup prediction, was that Alien Isolation would get a VR update. That ain't fucking happen either. So yeah. So I got that wrong. So Tom, you won 2-1 with the E3 2017 prediction. So I will be buying the calzone pizzas next time. So yeah, actually, let's just have a look at what other Tom's predictions were, right? So you mentioned Borderlands 3, Fallout 4 VR, and Assassin's Creed. Tom also mentioned, which I think he might have had some insider information, Evil Within 2. Which was announced and shown. Wolfenstein, the new game, which was announced and shown.
I even give the name for that. New Colossus.
Shut up. The one that you didn't get right, it was the Star Wars 2018 RPG, but you even put a question mark next to that because even you weren't sure about that one.
Yeah.
And then finally, Scorpio, and he's put next to it, OBS. Obviously, Scorpio was shown and announced, which obviously it was, which was now being renamed Xbox One X, which we'll get to in a moment. So well done. Do you want chips with it?
No.
No?
Cheese sticks.
Cheese sticks, mozzarella cheese sticks with a bit of garlic dip.
Yeah.
Wanker.
Lucky.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Lucky. So yeah, so well done on that one. Well, actually, to be honest, you actually nailed that with your predictions. I think you were being a lot more sensible than I was. I was kind of going with my hopes, and you were like, well, actually, there are a lot of those you were actually looking forward to, but...
I didn't... One thing that really did surprise me was the new Metro game. I honestly had no idea they were working on one.
No.
I mean, they've made a new book, and the game, from the looks of it, is nothing to do with that book.
Well, tell you what, should we jump straight into the Xbox conference, actually? Because that's that was shown during the Xbox conference.
Go for it.
So, the Xbox conference started. We actually watched this together, but you having a few internet issues.
Yeah, my internet crapped out.
So, it starts off with the announcement of Xbox One X. Now, this is a bit of a shock to me because I thought Scorpio was going to be a whole new generation of console.
I kind of thought that it wouldn't because it's too early.
Well, it was just the way everything was building up. I thought basically Microsoft were going to bite the bullet and go, right, we are going to release the next console. And yes, there will be backwards compatibility elements to it.
I just think from a marketing point of view, it didn't really make sense. Like, they just released the Xbox One S.
The only downfall that I would say with this is that it's still part of the Xbox One group, but it's basically a PlayStation 4 Pro.
And it plays Xbox original games.
That is another announcement. Yeah, they did say during the Xbox conference that all the Xbox Ones would play the updated, steadily released Xbox original games.
I love that idea. That's a really good idea.
Depends which ones they do.
I want them to do Battle Stations Aquila.
I want them to do
Quantum Redshift? Halo 1?
No. Obi-Wan Kenobi, Star Wars.
Is that a real game?
Yeah, it's behind you. Somewhere. That was released on the original Xbox. I never played it, and it didn't ever get updated to work on Xbox 360.
Oh,
which was a
well.
shame. But yeah, it was fair enough. They're doing a lot of work, which is great for the fans, but it'd be nice to see them to actually maybe move forward some of their exclusives, which we'll get to in a moment. So yes, so announced about
Exclusive.
Xbox One X has now obviously been officially announced. It will be sold at $499, which is about 450 quid.
Yeah.
It's quite expensive, but then again, with all those flops that it's got, apparently that's going to be good.
It's 100 quid more than the PS4 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's more powerful than the PlayStation 4 Pro.
It comes with a 4K UHD drive, which is great if you've got a 4K TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously that's clearly where we're going. We are going for all the HDR 4K elements now.
What I like about all the consoles going 4K is it's actually progressing the 4K tech in TVs, because the only thing that's really progressing them is the consoles.
Yeah, it's forcing the tech companies to actually push and make TVs more affordable as well for this sort of technology.
Illuminati. I don't know.
So the push and porn industry, I can imagine getting in with that, because it's usually video games and porn industry that help push tech. So they're going.
Is that why you got VR? Never mind. I see. I'm telling Joe.
No. Shut up. I'll show you later.
I'm all right.
But then it went on to the Xbox conference, went on to talk about Forza, which was great, and then they spent about 5 minutes talking about the new Porsche that's got brought out on stage.
No, I don't.
Can I just want to qualify this, right? Okay, just qualify this. I don't know. After Sony's conference last year, which was a bit new, it was almost like sitting in a theatre watching the trailers of a preview before a film, right? Which came across really well. I actually thought Xbox would have looked at that and gone, let's do a bit of that. But no, they went old school, like, look at the Porsche we've got on stage. We've been paid a lot of money to have this on stage. Well, and it was very old style of conferencing, which was, it's fine. I liked having people on stage talking, but it was a bit much.
Can I go off on a tangent again?
Go for it.
What was that game where there was the man shouting and it was awful?
It was like an arena battling game.
It looked awful.
It did look shocking, especially not. I think what made it look worse was that on the previous game that was announced was the unknown battleground.
No, that looked quite alright.
Yeah, and then obviously that does really well on PC. That's coming to Xbox One. But then they showed this other arena game, which just looked like a pile of crap. And the guy was like, "Oh my god, it's coming up behind him!" Blah 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 blah.
He was bigging it up more than it was
probably. Yeah. So yeah, there was that. Highlights from the Xbox. Oh no, we want to go back to talking about exclusives. So the one thing that Microsoft would like to do is whenever the exclusive title comes up on the screen, whether it not actually be within an actual sentence, the voiceover man will say exclusive. Well, they did the console launch exclusive, which means that it will be coming to Xbox One first before it comes to PlayStation 4.
And then they did something else. There was like 3 or 4 different types of exclusivities.
There was like the PC and Xbox One exclusive. So it means it's not coming out on PS4, but it is coming out on PC.
Like State of Decay 2 and
Sea of Thieves.
And Halo Wars 2, the Forza 7.
Yep. So all those are coming up to PC. And so whenever that came up on screen, exclusive. And then finally we had, which was very bare minimum, the actual Xbox One exclusives.
Wasn't there another one?
There probably was another version of their form of exclusive.
Which wasn't an exclusive at all, was it? It was like...
Nope, it probably was content exclusive.
I think that there's like timed exclusives, and a lot of those were timed exclusives. So it was like...
And I think it kind of felt like it was... making sure my microphone's on there. Yeah, making sure... It kind of came across that... It was like they're trying to pull the wool over people's eyes a little bit.
Well, I'm not going to go out and buy an Xbox One X to wait for a game.
Well, to be honest, we're actually the target audience for Xbox One X.
I'm not getting it. I used to be... I hated PS3 and I loved Xbox 360. And I still hate PS3 and I still prefer Xbox 360. And then the Xbox One and the PS4 came out. And somehow I got convinced to buy a PS4, which has probably turned out well because the Xbox One... I had it. I bought one.
We are actually the target audience. We like our more powerful machines. We don't have Xbox Ones at the moment.
I had one.
You had one, sold it. But to be honest, we are actually the target audience because we don't have one.
Yeah.
So if we're going to buy one, if I was going to buy an Xbox One, I would buy the Xbox One X. Do I want to buy the Xbox One X?
No.
No. Mainly because the games that they showed off, such as Sea of Thieves, which looks absolutely amazing and hilarious, by the way.
That looks like it could be a laugh.
It's coming out on PC. State of Decay 2 coming out on PC as well. And there's a load of other ones which are coming out on PC and Xbox One. So if I've got a PC that can run the games, why the hell would I want to buy an Xbox One?
eBay.
eBay?
I don't know. It's another subscription as well on top.
Yeah, and we don't need it.
No, you don't.
No. But highlights from the Xbox conference, I'd certainly say, was Sea of Thieves for me. That looks great.
That does look very good, yeah.
I'm looking forward to actually playing that with you, though, and actually have a bit of a laugh. We are actually going to talk about other games, but they'll be coming at the end of the show. So Sea of Thieves looks great, co-op-wise, entertaining, looks stupid, graphically looks gorgeous.
I've just remembered a game that I completely forgot. There was a dwarf game.
Oh, yeah, that was shown, doesn't it? It was like a mining dwarf game.
Oh, sorry, my bum's going a bit.
Yeah, it's a bit of a small stool, that. I told you could have this shirt if you want.
Yeah, but it's because I've got an open back now and I'm not getting even more hot than I already am. It's like a vent. Right. It's venting, it's good. Not my arse.
I was going to say, is that your arse?
That's a good heat sink.
Yeah, there's the dwarf mining game, which looks different. Looks intriguing.
There's millions of spiders.
Mm-hmm. Look quite cool. Sea of Thieves was a highlight for me. I know Anthem was for you, but again, we're going to talk about trailers at the end.
Iron
ones.
Men and women.
Metro Exodus was shown, which was a surprise, like you said. It was not expected.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that in a bit. And then also another one that you want to talk about was State of Decay 2, which we'll get to the end because we're going to talk about trailers, those particular ones. You've shown us all the trailers that you want to talk about at the end are actually from the Xbox conference.
Yeah, but 2 of them will be coming to PS4 and 1 will be on PC.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was an okay conference. It dragged on a bit for me. I thought there was elements which felt very cheesy. I think the Unknown Battleground players thingy game, which is on PC, that looks cool.
One thing I'll say about E3 this year is it's not really impressed me. It's not something I'm going to remember. It's just one of those.
It wasn't a bad E3. It just wasn't memorable.
Yeah, I mean, there's some big titles like Wolfenstein. I'm quite looking forward to that because I think that the original, is it not the original? The New Order was on sale for like £3 the other day.
It's cheap, and it's a good game as well. Really good
game.
But they did say during the Xbox conference they were going to show off 42 games. I'm sure about 30 of those was part of that snipper reel that they showed at the end. Because one game that was shown, which I'm excited about, and hopefully it'll come to PS4 at some point, is Path of Exile.
Oh, yeah.
And that was shown like a split second, and I was like, thank God for that.
There's a game that I quite like the look of called Gear Up, which is currently only on PC. And that's like, it's a bit like one of these games like World of Tanks or Crossout or Dreadnought or that other one on PC, what's it called? It's a spaceship one. Star Conflict. There's a bit, so you basically you do rounds of PvP or PvE, and then you get skill points and money, and then you can upgrade your ship or your tank or your
the advantage, like I'm not a big Xbox fan, but I enjoy seeing the conferences because I want to see what games are coming out on it because they might come across to PS4 at some point.
Yeah.
So, like, if a developer develops their PC game for Xbox and get the control system worked out, they can bring it across to PS4, and then they don't have to do as much with it.
Yeah.
That's why I think Path of Exile, I want it to come to PS4. I do have it on PC, but that's not where my friends are. My friends are on PS4. I want to play with them. So that was the Xbox conference. It was okay. There's some elements which we will talk about later on that you enjoyed, but yeah, it was an okay conference. It was all right. Sony's conference. Now, this was very similar to last year's conference, where it was, like I said, sat in a cinema watching trailers before the film starts. They did hardly any talking. They just literally went bang, 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 bang with trailer. It was good. It ended suddenly. It felt very short, even though I think it lasted about an hour. And it ended quite suddenly as well. And I think when it then flicked to a guy presenting it, he wasn't ready. He was still just looking at the camera like, are we on? And he was like, even he wasn't expecting to suddenly flick to him. But overall, interesting conference. Highlights, certainly seeing the Uncharted standalone game, that looks cool. God of War looks interesting. I've never played any of the previous God of Wars, but that looks cool. Is there any particular that jump out at you?
I think I missed the Sony conference.
You missed the Sony one.
I saw the highlights.
Again, it was okay. There was Call of Duty shown. There was Destiny 2 shown.
Days Gone.
Days Gone actually was a highlight for me, but I am looking forward to that one.
Did you see any of the Call of Duty World War II stuff?
They were showing some more. I think it was another trailer to it.
What did it look like?
Same as what we've already seen so far with the trailer. Just World War II explosions.
Does it look like normal COD? Without all the jump jets?
Yeah, basically, Call of Duty, basically. Just World War II setting.
Yeah.
I am interested for the story, though. I'm looking forward to the single player, not the multiplayer.
It's a lot of money just for the short story.
But yeah, Days Gone is certainly one that intrigues me. I actually wanted to discuss this at the end of the show, but it seems that we're going to be talking about it within one of the conferences. It starts off with quite a long gameplay trailer. From what we got last year, it was the trailer last year focused very much on the zombie aspect of the game, where there was hordes constantly running at him, and he was like backing up, shooting them, trying to get a way out. This focused more on the idea of gameplay within the world. So it showed him like he went to go save one of his friends, and you sneak in using cover and distraction elements to pull enemies away, using what they call, they're not zombies, they're called freakers within this game, and using hordes of them to be able to overrun large groups of enemies by using sound and distractions. So that looked quite cool, because we watched it just before we started recording.
Yeah.
What was your initial thoughts about it when you first saw it? Now you've had a little bit of time to think about it.
Big ass bear.
There was a big ass bear at the end. This virus or whatever it is, which creates freakers, does actually affect wildlife as well. So I think there were some wolves at one point as well, which were chasing him, which were a bit deformed. It looks very similar to The Last of Us, but it's going to be open world. So it's not a linear story at all, this one. It's much more vast. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good today. It's really hot.
Can you open the monster? Let's open the monster.
Okay.
So yes, Days Gone looks... It's certainly one I'm a definite going to be picking up. I'm really looking forward to that.
What's the release date on that?
I believe it's the end of this year. Well, let's just have a quick Google while we're here.
Oh, that is so bad for you.
Days Gone release date. But it's certainly one I'm really looking forward to. I can buy it at Smith's Toys right now, actually.
I think it goes to the garden centre.
Smith's Garden Centre, no. Oh, it didn't actually say... Come on. Kind of hoping Wikipedia would pick this up.
Wikipedia.
Now, this site, which is trustedreviews.com, says to be confirmed 2017. That looks like an old article. Days Gone's PS4 release date hasn't leaked at all, apparently. Okay.
So we assuming next year?
Yeah, it could end up being next year. I think if it was coming back into this year, we probably would have known, which is a shame. I was kind of hoping it'd be this year. I think there's been a lot of games that have been focused on coming next year, which is... anyway, so yeah, we're not entirely sure at this present moment, which is a shame. Other games were shown off, such as Spider-Man, which looked really, really cool. But again, that's one of the games I want to talk about when we talk about trailers. Other than that, though, again, it was okay. It was an okay conference. There was a bit too much of this style of showing it like it was a preview. I liked it last year, but I think they needed someone to just come on stage a little bit more and talk about PlayStation, and they probably will do that at PSX at the end of the year. We'll talk about numbers, release numbers and things like that, how well they're doing. I think Sony has just taken a totally different approach to their E3 conferences now, and they're saying, listen, we're all about the games, which is what they always say. Let's just show you games. But no, have you seen the behind-the-scenes filming for God of War? And it's got the guy from Stargate who's playing him, doing the voice.
I've never played God of War. I saw some like snow or something. I missed the trailer.
Oh well, they actually released a video during E3 where it shows them doing the mocap, and it's a guy from from Stargate.
Which guy? Who did he play?
He played the alien who became a goodie. Tilk.
So
he's there. He's doing all he's doing all the mocap for it and stuff like that, and it was really, really cool. I was like, his voice just sounds. I know he's not the original voice, and some people are going to kick off about that, but I like it. His voice. He's got a very intense voice, and I think it'll work for this new style of God of War. I'm looking forward to that. And it's going to look really, really, really cool.
Very deep voice, yeah.
I think it might pull me in, actually, to at least have a go on it.
So you like someone's deep, caressing tones?
That's why I have you on the show every time.
You're doing it wrong.
I love you on the top now. So, yeah, that covers the Xbox and Sony conferences. Like I said before, we're going to talk about some trailers now. The ones that stood out to us that we enjoyed most of all. Actually, you've got 4 to talk about, by the way, just forewarn you. Pretty much. I'm going to talk about 3.
I've got 5 to talk about.
You got 5 to talk
One
about?
I'm going to mention briefly because I'm not entirely sure.
Okay, well, should we leave that until the end?
Yeah, we'll leave that to the end, along with this
So
other
first
one.
up, Tom,
Yeah.
during the Xbox conference, Anthem was shown, which is a new IP to EA.
BioWare. So do you think they'll have like really derpy facial animations?
Well, you know, we were joking about this when we were watching it.
My face is tired.
The animation that popped up first, it looked really detailed and really. I'm expecting him to go when we were talking, just suddenly glitch out, or his face suddenly disappear, see his teeth and his eyeballs, or something like that. I was like, oh.
That's Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah, it isn't it?
And there's all his facial muscles. It's horrendous.
My face is tired. But yeah, so Anthem was shown, which, well, you talk about it. This is your choice. What describe the trailer to us?
Okay, Iron Man, Wall, bad guys, mortar. Yeah.
In layman's terms, I like it. Jesus Christ. Tom's review of a trailer: Iron Man, Wall. What else was there?
Bad guys and
Bad guy
mortars.
mortars. Yeah, it's kind of. It reminds me of Destiny / Iron Man.
I just like the way that there's different suits that you can pick with different abilities, like, and you can fit different items, like the mortar or the cluster missile thing. And then there was a hovering guy that looked like he wasn't using a jet; he was using some sort of weird powder.
Pulsing system. It's
what
co-op,
it is.
isn't it? That's what they showed during the trailer.
I think it's going to be a loot and sort of loot. Loot. So it's basically going to be similar to Destiny, I think, from the look of it.
It's a gorgeous looking game.
And
Good looking
there's
game.
lots of wildlife, but I think like the ability just to fly off is quite powerful. I think that could get old. Well, not old, but it kind of feels like a cheat.
It depends how big the world is. If the world is absolutely humongous, then that's great. But if it's not overly big, flying around should be a very quick way of getting around. It does look good. The only thing is, when I saw this, and I was like, wow, this looks really cool. I had to sort of rein in my expectations a bit, because we've seen trailers before that have looked good and looked really graphically intense.
It's EA, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, I got worried it might have been Ubisoft there.
This is what I'm going to say. It's like the idea of, we've seen, remember Watch Dogs, then when that was first shown, and even, actually, this was actually done by Witcher 3 as well. They got a little bit of flack for it.
Really?
Yeah, the first trailer they ever showed off was graphically better than what the game was released at.
Do you remember the Rainbow Six Siege trailer where they come in a helicopter and the spotlights and
I
the
don't remember
shadow?
that one.
It's really good. And then if you go on YouTube and type in Rainbow Six Siege launch trailer versus the actual game, and it looks like take Star Wars, The Force Awakens, and Lego Star Wars. Actually, that's Lego Star Wars still looks pretty good. Take Minecraft.
In comparison to the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think they try and build hype, and the problem is, when they show this, they leave an expectation within the viewer's mind, and so when the game doesn't reach that, you're like, well, that's not what I freaking saw last time. And I think that's the only problem. And they did this actually with The Division as well.
Yeah,
The Division did that, and it leaves that bad taste in your mouth. So basically, when I saw this trailer, I was like, for a few seconds, I was like, this looks amazing. And then straight away, I took a step back and went, I've seen this before. I'm expecting maybe the graphics to be at least a third as good as that. Especially with the guys' animations, they looked really good. I just don't. I'd like to know what game, maybe what PC that's running on, and whether or not the final product will look like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there was no real HUD either, I noticed.
I don't remember.
But anyway, Anthem is looking good. It's if you got it, I would probably get it as
I'm
well.
gonna get it. I think. Was there a release date on that?
I don't think so. No, I think we're quite a way away. Again, I'll look that up. Anthem PS.
I reckon fall next year for that.
Yeah, at least. Anthem PS4 release date. I don't think. No, fall 2018 says here, to be confirmed. So I think that could even be delayed till 2019. Because it's the first thing we've ever seen of it.
Yeah.
So I still think that's quite a way out, which is a shame. It was a shame, but yeah. So it's an online multiplayer open world shooter. It's been classed as a genre. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So it looks interesting. I want to see more gameplay rather than gameplay demos, if that makes sense. I want to actually see streamers get hold of this and actually show some during conferences, show off a bit of gameplay, and actually get an idea of how it flows. Anything else? Is it a drop in, drop out? Is it constantly multiplayer that everybody's in the world? I want to see more of that element of it. I want to see what the actual co-op actually involves.
Yeah.
But no, Anthem does look good. So the next one I want to talk about is Spider-Man, which was shown during the Sony's conference on the PlayStation 4, which is a PlayStation 4 exclusive. We watched the trailer before we... Oh, that was my knee just cracked. Ow. We watched the trailer before we started the show. Yeah. What's your initial thoughts on the old Spider-Man?
Reminds me of the first Spider-Man game a little bit.
I think all Spider-Man's games do look very similar.
I suppose, yeah. Graphically, it's nice.
It looks good. It looks really good. You did say, actually, when we started watching it, you wouldn't be surprised if this one drops in price.
Well, yeah, I mean, after a while, I think it'll drop in price.
Well, all games do.
Yeah, but I mean, so some drop quicker than others.
Mm. Well, I've noticed that recently the PS4 exclusive games do drop in price on the PSN store quite quickly. Such as like The Last of Us remastered, Uncharted 4, games like that. But I think it's because Sony have more of a control of the distribution of it, that they can probably do more deals actually on the game itself. Seems like this is an exclusive. But it looks good. It reminds me very much of Arkham games, and that like going up above and then waiting for the enemies to come underneath and then like grab them and pull them up and things like that. The combat looks very similar aspects as well.
I'm not good at stealth. I don't do that.
No, you're going all guns blazing. I tell you what I did like, actually. One of his gadgets he fired, and it had like a beam that went across. And when the guy grabs him and pulls him, web shoots him against it. That was quite cool. It looked like it was running smoothly.
The story might be interesting.
Mm-hmm. It was showed off a Mr. Lee, I think they said it. I think that's Mr. Negative from the comics. I don't think they'll probably call him that in the game because it seems a bit cheesy.
Seems a bit poo, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. But overall, I think it looks interesting. There's a lot of quick time events within it, which I know a lot of people don't like. I don't mind them as long as it's part of a cinematic. Keeps you involved during those moments, which is good. But overall, I'm a massive Spider-Man fan. Oh. I love Spider-Man. He's kind of one of my favourite superheroes, so that's why I'm quite happy he's been involved in the films now. Yeah. With all like the Avengers and stuff. I'm really looking forward to the new Spider-Man film that's coming out. But this one, the story is set. He's been Spider-Man 8 years now in the video game. So he's actually in his early 20s, I believe. So it's no longer at high school. I think he's probably either at university or college or working at the university or college and then still doing photography and stuff. Yeah. So he's a bit more of a refined superhero now.
Peter.
Yeah. But no, it looks good. Graphically, it looks gorgeous. I just can't wait to get my hands on it. This is certainly one that I'll be buying at release because I'm a big Spider-Man fan. And I love the original Spider-Man on PS1 back in the day. I think that was one you were mentioning, where they had the fog in the streets and stuff and you couldn't go down to the streets. I love that. That was one of my fondest memories of PlayStation 1, I have to admit. But yeah, so that trailer looked awesome. That was really, really cool. Quite a long trailer as well, which was shown. Actual gameplay. Apparently the HUD that they used is not the finalised HUD that they will be using in the game. That was just apparently they wanted something to be in to show it was actually real. They said that they were worried that graphically it did look that cool, nobody would actually believe this was the actual game. They said they were expecting people to say, "Oh, this is just a setup. This is not actually being played." So that's why they did the actual HUD. So apparently they're finalising that. That's coming out next year as well. So I'm gonna have to wait for that one, which is a shame. But so. On to your second trailer you want to talk about, Tom, which was Metro Exodus, shown during the Xbox conference.
Yeah, I know, it looks good, does that?
Bit of a shock.
Well, I wasn't expecting it. Yeah.
I think it was one of those moments which we didn't have many of these during E3 2017, was like, what's this game? What's it? Oh shit, is this Metro?
Well, I like the way they started the trailer, because it looks like Metro 1 or 2, it's exactly the same, barely anything different, and then they get to the top, open the door, go outside, they then take the gas mask off, which is the wrong way round. Because it's normally you have to go outside with the gas mask on, or you're gonna die.
It's set Metro is set in a post-apocalyptic world.
Russia in the metro system, and then you go outside, and then you can see sunlight, and then there's like a big storm over in the distance, and then there's a train and a big mutated bear, and then a zip line and an explosive crossbow.
It'd be interesting to see where they're going with the story then, because do you think that the idea of the world is slowly, the radiation is reducing?
No, I think it's because they've gone out of the actual main city centre where all the nukes went off.
So I think it's less radiation in that area. And
I heard somewhere that it's possibly going to be open world as well.
Ooh, that'd be cool. I got to admit, I never played. Was it the second one?
Last Light.
I never played Last Light. I played and completed the first one.
Well, I've got it. If you want to borrow it, it's very good.
Yeah, please.
Mind you, I said that to Luke. I'd let him borrow it.
Well, we'll pass it around. Oh, you know what I mean. But no, I do like the Metro franchise. I'm a bit of a. I do like a post-apocalyptic worlds if they're done right. Some of them are a bit shit, but I like the idea when a game builds a world up. It isn't just like, oh, we're now in a post-apocalyptic world, this is it, done. I liked it that the actual world itself becomes a character within the story.
Like in Fallout, where it starts before the war?
Yeah.
And then you understand why it's gone to
the reasons behind it, and it's not just in your face. It's just like, this is, you have to live with this now, and this is the stories that have happened between it be happening to now.
That's why I like in Fallout going around and finding like little like areas. Each area's got its own story to tell.
Yeah, and you find little dog tags, or you find story, or you read things,
or you find a Deathclaw Queen woman thing.
And that's what I liked about with Metro is when, especially with the first game, when you dropped into it, this was a rugged, used world.
Very on the rails, though.
You didn't very much, very linear story, going from A to B. But I don't mind that. But as much as you go into an area, there is different people to talk to.
If it's open world, I think you could probably start to compare it to Stalker, or the Stalker games on PC. That's basically set in Chernobyl, or that area, and there's mutants and weird anomalies and all sorts of stuff.
I'm really looking forward to it, actually. Did we find out if it's coming to PS4 as well?
Oh, it will be.
Can we just double check? Metro Exodus.
In fact, I'm pretty sure it is.
I always worry when it's only been shown. Yeah, there we go. So it is coming out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Initial release date 2018 again. But no, it is like, just looking at some of the screenshots. Actually, the little one, it looks gorgeous.
It looks really good.
Snow. I love snow in video games. I love snow. Or is it ash?
No, it's
that's snow.
I presume it's snow.
It looks like snow, doesn't it? Snow was in the other games. Well, it was in the first one. There was a bit of snow elements to it.
The second one, you'll like that. It's good. It is good.
Cool.
There is above ground segments on that. There's a bridge in the swamp. And
we should do a 4-part Let's Play, which we're starting to introduce on the old...
4-part Let's Play?
Yeah.
That'll be a long 1-part session.
Oh, no, I don't mean complete the whole game in the 4-part. I meant 20-minute episodes, or 20 minutes, half-an-hour episodes, and do like a couple of hours within the game.
Part 1, 5 hours later.
But yeah, no, that'd be cool, actually, because... to head towards that game, and I'd like to play it alongside you because you know the world a little bit more and the aspect of it. That'd be quite cool.
It's supposed to be stealthy, but I'm like
shotgun,
kicking doors down.
I think I went in very much with shotgun. I liked because it was a double barrel shotgun you could get, and
that old cranky one. Yeah, the second one's really good. You can get I think you get it in the first one. It's basically like machine gun that fires shotgun shells.
That's pretty cool. I like the world. I just love the aspect it's set in. I think the whole ambience around it is done perfect in that sort of franchise.
And the music in the background noise.
The music is gorgeous, and the sound effects. It's just So that was Metro Exodus, and I think, like I said, this was one of those rare moments from this year's E3, which was a surprise, and a good one at that. We didn't really get many of them, and that was really, really cool. And as soon as you saw the gun and the moving in the tunnels and stuff, you're like, that's Metro.
Straight away.
I had no idea they were doing another one.
No, I didn't.
Right. But yeah, no, really good choice for that one actually to discuss. I'm really looking forward to that. That probably will be another one I'll pick up. One I'm going to talk about is, which was shown during EA's conference, and it actually is a indie game. It's made by a small group of people who originally made Brothers Tale of Two Sons. And it was a very intimate game of obviously two brothers and controlling both at the same time with one controller. So it's like a lot of you have to play co-op with yourself. So you have to do one with one stick and one with the other, and you move things around. Well, they're releasing their new game called A Way Out, which is kind of a prison break game. And it is not a single player at all. It's absolutely from start to finish a co-op game. You can play on the couch co-op or online.
So you can't play it single player?
Not at all, no. And it is to create this relationship between two people within the game, and like I think even the developers said that it's actually a better experience to play it on the couch with someone or sofa, just because you have that connection with that person right next to you, and the talking between the two of you will help you experience the game more.
Now, is it open world or is it?
No, it's very much, as far as I know, very much a linear story.
A bit like Tales from the Borderlands.
Yeah. A little bit like that. Like there is more direct gameplay than obviously Telltale style. But so it's purely split screen as well. Even when you're playing online, so you can see both screens and what's happening with both players at the same time, which is cool. Also, apparently, it's to help create discussion as well, because apparently you have to agree on certain elements of the game for it actually to continue.
Oh, right.
So I believe on one of the sections is when you actually do get out of the prison. Spoiler break, story spoiler. But you actually do get out of the prison. But they showed an element of it where they were actually going to rob a petrol station, and they're both in the car and they're trying to decide whether or not they're going to go in cool and calculated, or if they're going to go all guns blazing, smashing the door in, screaming in with balaclavas on, basically. But for the actual game to continue, both players must choose the same decision. So, for example, if you wanted to go all guns blazing, which wouldn't surprise me with you, and I wanted to go in stealth and scout the area out first, we can't be like, well, I want to do this one. We have to make a decision between the two of us. So I think that would create an external gameplay experience, which I don't think is kind of even explored within the video games industry. Like, we have to discuss between ourselves and make a decision. Well, are we going to do this or not? And then, in essence, we'll have to argue to get, like, well, I want to do this because this could happen. You'd be like, yeah, but if we're all good guns blazing, we can be in and out done. I'm like, yeah, but we're going to get chased by police. Yeah, but and I like that aspect of it. And I will be, and again, this is another game which I'll be getting straight away, and this will be one that I do want to play with you, because I think our personalities are vastly different when we approach video games. Yeah, I think we could have a right good laugh with this one. I'll be certainly picking that up. Plus, I'm a big fan of the Great Escape film and Escape from Alcatraz. And I think the idea of a prison break...
I've seen The Green Mile.
That wasn't a prison break movie. That was about a guy who was almost like Jesus, who was healing people.
Oh, no.
And then he gets electrocuted by the light.
What's the Tom Hanks one?
That is Green Mile.
Where he escapes for a poo tube.
No, that's Shawshank Redemption.
That's it, yeah. Is that Morgan Freeman?
Morgan Freeman.
Well, they're both the same, aren't they?
Tom Hanks in it. I like how you combined two films together and made your own.
Well, I don't remember. It's been ages since I've seen
film, though, Shawshank Redemption. I haven't seen that in years.
Have I got the right film now? I'm really confused. I don't know.
We'll watch both films and then we can clarify.
No, I'm alright.
So that's A Way Out, and that'll be coming digital only.
I think I'm starting to crash from the heat a little bit.
Yeah, right, we're going to be wrapping up soon. Last couple of trailers. It will be released digitally on PlayStation 4, I believe on Xbox One and PC. A Way Out game. Just check this. Xbox One, PS4 and PC, and it'll be coming initially early 2018 digitally, and that's what's been announced at E3. So that is my second trailer. Your third trailer, Tom, is State of Decay 2, which was also shown during the Xbox conference.
I don't know why I've picked this one, because I only saw like the first 5 minutes of the trailer. And I won't even know, it was like 30 seconds or something, because my internet crapped out again.
You had a lot of problems with your internet this last week. Well,
was it
I'm
good?
excited. Oh, God, yeah.
I saw a church with like different plots and like building stuff.
Let me just clarify that. I said, yes, it was a good trailer, because I know what to expect from the game.
Right.
If you don't know what to expect from the game, I think you'd be looking at it and going, I don't think the trailer represented it correctly.
All right, can you like just pick any random house and barricade it up?
Pretty much. It basically, apparently, State of Decay 2 is a more polished, larger.
Sorry, I thought you said Polish.
Polished.
Right.
Larger, with multiplayer and co-op version of State of Decay 1. So they haven't massively brought the boundaries, or they even admitted that it's just an advanced version.
Right.
So like I originally loved the original State of Decay, and the only reason why I stopped playing it was because I got bored because I wanted to play with someone. And
Yeah.
State of Decay 2 is going to basically tick those boxes. So in the original State of Decay, if you played the story mode, you would actually be given a place to originally bunk down in, and you would pick up survivors. You'd go help them, they'd come and join you, but it also had permadeath within the game. So any one of the group could die, and that was it, they were gone.
Find a new one.
You would just find more people and bring them in, but you would then spend points on resources, should I say, on building up defences, resources to help people, medical aspects, and then obviously characters would level up as well, and you would then put aspects into their key skills.
Sounds quite complicated.
It can be initially, but they're advancing that further with this one, so it's a lot more streamlined apparently.
Cool.
Each character, for example, there'll be people who are good at gardening, and then you would have them as a little garden to help create food for the group.
Dahlias.
Jesus. But what the most important part of this game is now, it's going to be co-op. So you could drop into my game, and I think you can choose one of my characters to play as, and we would then gather resources together.
Get your other people killed.
Or get them killed.
Open the gate, let them in.
What you can do is, if you're playing your game and I'm playing mine, and I get into some serious shit, basically, I'm fucked. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I need help. I can send up a flare, and if you selected that option to be able to help me, it would flag in your game. You could bring your character over into my game and play in my world with your character to help me out. So it's like a drop-in, drop-out system.
Cool. Can you not do that anyway without having to choose one of your characters?
There's two. I believe there's a couple of elements of this gameplay. I think we could do one together where we have our own characters, or you could actually bring someone in to help me. The only downfall with that is that if you died, you would lose your character, but you would also be massively rewarded if you succeeded, like with loads of resources and stuff like that for your own world. So there are a couple of different elements to it. We'll have to actually have a little bash on State of Decay at some point as we're running up to release for this one.
I think I might have it on PC, but I've never really tried it too much.
The DLCs are very good actually, because it does two different elements to it. One of the DLCs is purely to see how long you can survive, and the other one is actually much more story driven. So and apparently they're trying to go between the two now with this new one, which is quite cool.
Well, very good. Yeah, that's worth a go.
I'm looking forward to it. It still looks a little bit clunky in some of the animations and things like that. It's a bit rough around the edges, but it is still an indie company.
Yes.
So this is one thing to clarify. This isn't a AAA company at all. This is an indie company that's been supported by Microsoft. It'll be coming out on Xbox One and PC next year. Seems a common occurrence of 2018 releases. So
apart from a few.
Mm-hmm. So that was State of Decay.
What are you talking about next?
My final one was the only Star Wars game which was really talked about.
You have to pick that now.
Yes. Star Wars Battlefront 2 had a gameplay trailer shown off.
Roger.
This one, I think I've got most excited for that. It's going to cover all three eras of Star Wars. So we're going to get the prequels, the originals, and the new films, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, I just like the clones. That era is really cool. And yeah, that's it.
Well, no, it looks good. He's crashing. He's getting tired. It's warm. It's fucking warm. Darth Maul was shown off. You can fight Yoda. It just overall, I think it looks like a better game than what came out the other year of the first one.
Yeah, that was good for about 10 minutes, and then
you got quite frustrated with it, if I remember correctly.
I don't know if I got frustrated. I just thought it was good for about 10 minutes.
It seemed like for the newbie first-person shooter people, it was like very lackluster. It would just kind of drop in, drop out. That were it.
Yeah, it was just really boring.
Well, hopefully with the story elements and different areas with this one, and there's some class upgrades as well which you can get, which looks cool. I actually watched a live stream of the battle at Theed, which they had during E3, and there was the clone troopers versus the droids, and that looked really cool. It looked intense, but really, really cool. You need to drink more of your monster. You okay?
I couldn't hear you. What did you say?
I said you need to drink more of your monster. It's hanging in there. You're all right.
Yeah.
You okay? We're nearly done. Bless him. He's doing all right. You're doing really well.
It's only like 5 o'clock.
What time are we?
5:15.
That's not too bad. Right then, so that was Star Wars Battlefront 2. Looking forward to it. I probably will get a Star Wars game. Last one, Tom.
Well, you need to pick one of yours first.
I've done mine. Done my 3.
No, the extra 3.
We have extra 3?
These 3. I've only got 1. You've got 2.
We've talked about Days Gone.
Oh, yeah, we done that.
Yeah. We did talk about Sea of Thieves a little bit.
Did we?
Yeah, a little bit.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we were talking about the
Pirates.
Xbox conference. Yeah.
Well, Sea of Thieves looks good.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves looks really, really good. Beyond Good and Evil 2, which I have no idea about.
No, neither do I. The trailer looked really good, though.
It had monkey pigs set in like a Fifth Element
lots
style
of swearing.
world.
It looked really good. And spaceships.
Do we know why is the gameplay aspect?
I have no idea.
It did look really, really cool.
Really good.
I kind of skipped over that one because I heard the name, I didn't know the name. I thought, well, I'm sure I'll hear something about it at some point.
Quite like the trailer, though.
It was very, very good cinematic trailer. I'm getting tired as well now, so. But I think that pretty much covers all our E3 chat. So we've got some games there to look forward to. There's, like I said, E3 2017, it was a good E3. It just wasn't... Nothing stood out at me. There was nothing where I'd be like, this is going to be memorable.
No.
I didn't even... I know it sounds really bad. I didn't even watch the Nintendo conference.
That doesn't exist.
I have looked at the Nintendo Switch. I've seen it for £280 now.
Really?
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
Oh, God. Right, so... Thank you so much for watching another episode of the Always Games TV show. Don't forget you can check us out on Twitter at AlwaysGamesTV, like our Facebook page, and if you have enjoyed this video and you never want to miss another one, please subscribe and it'll just show up in your feed. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you don't, thumbs down right there as well. Tom?
Yeah.
You can check him out on Twitter at OutcastReaver. Thank you so much for joining me on this warm... You alright? It's a warm day, innit? It's warm.
Don't
right,
pull
okay.
back the curtain.
Okay. We're now we're actually running a cold bathroom now from just to like face plant into, and we're just gonna pack full of ice. On top
We are?
of it. Yeah.
You're gonna try and drown me. Okay.
I'm gonna climb on. Anyway.
I'm going home.
You can check me out on Twitter at TheGeekKeeper. Thank you so much for watching, and we will hopefully see you in the next video.
Bye.